Hey everyone, I'm Casey Hollins, and you're watching the Sportsnet Digital Dose. We've got John Molinaro from Sportsnet in studio today, and we're talking about the MLS because it kicks off pretty quickly here. We're only a couple days away, and I want to talk to you right now about the Vancouver Whitecaps because Canadian franchises are what we pay most attention to up here, probably. It's safe to say. So I know the Whitecaps did a pretty decent job last year. They weren't nearly as disappointing as Toronto's team was. But there are a couple changes over the offseason. They lost a couple notable players, and I just wanted to get your feeling on where you think they stand this season.
I think they just basically kind of held firm. I mean, they're basically in the same spot where they were last year. Barry Robson, the Scottish midfielder, left, and they also parted ways with a couple other players, John Thorrington and Martin Bonjour, the Argentine defender. And they added some nice pieces in the offseason as well. Nigel Rio-Coker, who used to play in the English Premier League, and Daigo Kobayashi, who's a Japanese midfielder who should help them in the middle. But I think they're pretty much kind of just a solid team, much like they were last year when they became the first Canadian team to make the MLS playoffs. The Western Conference where they compete is pretty competitive because you've got LA and Salt Lake and Seattle. So and they kind of back-ended into the playoffs last year. So it's going to be tough for them. But I mean, overall, I think they're, just a solid collection of players. They got some nice depth, and I think they're pretty much where they were at the start of last season.
So do you see them making the playoffs again?
Yeah, I think it's it could go either way, really.
Yeah.
If they make the playoffs, it'll be as the fourth or fifth place team. They're not going to contend for first or second or third. So I think they might just get over the hump so long as they can stay healthy and be consistent. I mean, that was the thing last year. They came out of the gate flying, and then towards the second half of the season, they just couldn't buy a win. So if they can be consistent throughout the whole season, then yeah, I think absolutely they can make the playoffs.
Consistency is so important in any sport, but especially for the Whitecaps this year. It could mean the difference between playoffs and no playoffs. They're certainly in a better spot than some other teams that had some serious overhauls. So.
Yeah, no question.
So that's a good thing. Anyway, that's all the time that we've got, but thanks for coming in, John,
no problem.
Giving that insight. And check back here in a little bit for another Sportsnet Digital Dose.